It's the first week of November, and London is wrapped in its usual grey. We just switched to wintertime, so by 4 or 5 in the afternoon, it's already getting dark. These overcast days have a way of pulling us inward, into a place where unspoken thoughts and hidden feelings start to surface. So today, I want to talk about something that feels essential in a world like ours. What it means to love ourselves unconditionally. To care for ourselves as we would for an innocent child. It's an anchor that I think we all need. My first awakening to this perspective occurred a few years ago when I was contemplating divorce. At the time, my partner and I were experiencing significant differences and argued a lot. Yet, after 7 years of marriage, there was still a bond and a flicker of trust remaining between us. Both of us struggled with the decision. Should we end it or not? It was difficult to navigate through reason and emotion, and that indecision was painful. My mom, sensing my low spirits, would take me out for a walk every evening after dinner. One night, as we strolled beneath the warm glow of the street lights, passing hurried pedestrians, she turned to me and said, "I will support you in whatever you decide." I already knew that. She had always wanted me to be happy. But in that moment, I realized my struggle wasn't about her approval or anyone else's. It was within myself. Then something clicked. I asked myself, what if I had a daughter facing the same choice? What would I want for her? I would want her to live authentically, to avoid compromising herself, to break free from society's expectations, and to let go of the burden of self-criticism. That shift in perspective suddenly brought clarity to everything. What if you were not you? What if you were the person you love most in this world? Imagine you are your own child, the one you cherish deeply. What choices would you want for that child? Too often, we hold ourselves to impossibly high standards, burdened by the expectations of society and those who raised us. We internalize these pressures, transforming them into our own expectations. Perhaps we've experienced wounds during our growth, feelings of unworthiness, or doubts about our right to be loved. We might not always love ourselves, but we have immense love for our child, even if that child has yet to be born. If you wouldn't want your child to walk a certain path, then maybe you don't have to take it either. Deep down, that child is a reflection of you. I didn't often use this perspective later on, partly because those major decisions don't come up frequently. Another reason might be that I gradually let my inner child come forward, merging with the grown-up version of me. I felt an unconditional love for myself. For many choices that came later, I didn't need to ask myself hypotheticals. I would naturally sense what I wanted. The opposite of unconditional love, though, is when we know we don't enjoy something, yet force ourselves to do it anyway. And often, forcing it doesn't bring any real benefits. Take breakfast, for example. I love having slices with peanut butter and a cup of tea. But when I used to buy bread at the groceries, I would force myself to pick whole wheat because it's healthier. even though I prefer white bread, which has a natural sweetness when it mixes with the enzymes in our saliva. Every time I bought whole wheat, I'd either eat the whole loaf reluctantly or end up stopping halfway, switching to chips or cookies instead, until the bread eventually went stale, leaving me feeling guilty for wasting food. When I allowed myself to buy white bread though, I enjoyed my favorite healthy breakfast each day and avoided waste. This seemingly simple choice made me realize that the so-called rationality of adulthood can sometimes be a constraint we place on ourselves. We all feel this quiet pressure to act like adults, to make mature decisions, to be reliable and seemingly responsible. But this constant push to be grown up makes us hide parts of ourselves that still need love and care. Maybe loving ourselves without judgment is what makes us complete. It's not about avoiding life's responsibilities. It's about learning to live in a way, connecting more with our inner selves. 3 years ago, I received an offer from Goldsmith's GDA program and handed in my resignation. While I was saying goodbye to a few close colleagues, there was one friend, someone I wasn't super close with but got along with well enough to chat. When I told her I was leaving, she looked at me with a cold expression and asked, "Why study art? What's so great about it?" Then she just turned away. I felt hurt, not understanding why she'd say that. She knew how much I loved painting. Since that day, this person and I have never been in contact again. I wondered if I should forgive her, pretend it never happened. But whenever I thought about that expression she had then, it felt like a thorn. I couldn't bring myself to forgive her, and each time I saw her posts on WeChat, it reminded me of that painful moment. Eventually, I removed her as a friend. I told myself, it's okay not to forgive. It's okay to prioritize my own feelings. Now, that incident no longer bothers me. Deleting her gave me some relief. There's no resentment left. Reflecting on this experience, I've come to embrace that it's okay to make choices for myself without guilt or judgment. It's okay to choose my favorite flavor, even if it isn't the healthiest. It's okay to forget things, and it's okay to forgive myself, even if I don't forgive others. I used to be hard on myself for the even smallest mistakes. If I went out and forgot my phone, I'd harshly criticize myself. Now, I just smile at myself. If I can, I'll enjoy a phone-free day. If I really need it, I can always go back for it. The world won't fall apart. When I catch myself being overly critical, I pause and ask, would I speak this way to a friend or a child I love? It helps bring me back to a place of gentleness, reminding me that I deserve the same compassion I'd give anyone else. After learning to love myself unconditionally, I find I can extend genuine care to others. When my mom gets lost in one of her long stories, I can listen with patience, putting myself in her shoes. Recently, a friend shared that her father's health was declining, and he might not have much time left. I used to feel uncomfortable in situations like this, never sure how to comfort someone. I'd wonder what others might say or do in such moments, and try awkwardly to imitate it. But this time, before I even realized it, I stepped forward and hugged her. I felt so sad I nearly cried myself. I haven't been through this experience, but I feel deeply for her. I believe that only those who have experienced unconditional love can truly feel what others feel, and only then can we give love sincerely. As I continue this journey, I'm learning that unconditional love isn't something we give ourselves once and move on. It's a daily practice, a gentle reminder that it's okay to be imperfect, to make choices that feel right to us, even if they don't make sense to others. If anything, I hope you will remember to treat yourself with the same patience and kindness you would offer someone you love deeply. Because at the end of the day, it's that inner compassion that helps us weather life's storms and connect more genuinely with the world around us. Thanks for spending this time with me.